Let me start with a number that surprises many of the men I work with. By age 60, more than 1 in 3 men have testosterone levels that are clinically low. That number only grows as the years go by. But the real story isn't in the number, it's in the feeling. It's the quiet fatigue that settles in your bones, the brain fog that makes you feel a step behind. It's the subtle shift in your mood, or the loss of that inner drive that you once took for granted. Too often, men blame themselves, thinking, I'm just getting old. But what if I told you that aging doesn't have to mean surrendering your vitality? What if something as simple as adding the right fruits to your daily diet could give your body the tools it needs to fight back? Today, we're going to talk about 3 specific fruits, backed by clinical research, that can help support your hormones, calm the internal fires of inflammation, and restore your energy. And the third fruit is one that many men mistakenly avoid because of a dangerous myth. So let's begin. Before we talk about the solutions on your plate, we need to understand the real enemies we're fighting. Low testosterone after 60 is rarely about age itself. Age is just the context. The true drivers are 3 silent culprits that accumulate over the years. First, there's chronic inflammation. Think of inflammation as your body's defense system. But when it stays switched on for decades, it's like a low-grade fire smoldering through your body. A 2020 review confirmed that this constant inflammation directly harms the Leydig cells in your testicles, the very factories that produce testosterone. When those factories are surrounded by smoke, production slows down. Second is insulin resistance. This is a big one. Decades of a standard American diet can make your body less responsive to insulin. Studies from institutions like Harvard have consistently shown that men with insulin resistance have significantly lower testosterone. It becomes a vicious cycle. Low testosterone worsens insulin sensitivity, and poor insulin sensitivity lowers testosterone further. Your energy and libido are caught in the middle. And third is oxidative stress. This is the rusting of your body from the inside out, caused by unstable molecules called free radicals. Over time, this cellular wear and tear damages everything from your hormone control center in the brain to the testicular tissues themselves. Now, here is the good news. Whole fruits are nature's strategic response to these 3 enemies. They are packed with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds that directly combat this damage. But I know the concern some of you have heard. Doesn't fruit raise estrogen? Let's bust that myth right now. That belief comes from fear-mongering blogs or misinterpreted studies on rodents, not from clinical evidence in humans. There is no scientific evidence that eating a healthy amount of whole fruit lowers testosterone or raises estrogen in men. In fact, as we're about to see, the right fruits do the exact opposite. First, let's talk about a fruit I call nature's nitric oxide booster, the pomegranate. Now, most men don't think of pomegranates for hormonal health, but the research says you absolutely should. A 2012 study had healthy men drink pomegranate juice daily for just 2 weeks. The results were remarkable. They saw an average 24% increase in salivary testosterone. But why? The magic is in its powerful antioxidant compounds. These compounds act like a shield, protecting those testosterone-producing Leydig cells from the damage of oxidative stress. But it does more. Pomegranate also helps your body increase the availability of nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes your blood vessels and improves circulation. Better blood flow isn't just good for your heart, it's essential for erectile function and for delivering nutrients to all your endocrine tissues. A simple way to add it to your life is with a half cup of fresh pomegranate arils on your oatmeal or yogurt, or a small 4 to 6 ounce glass of 100% pomegranate juice.
Our second fruit is a creamy, rich powerhouse that provides the very building blocks of your hormones, the avocado. Now, this is a critical point that many men miss. Your body makes testosterone from cholesterol, the good kind. Avocados are packed with monounsaturated fats, which are not just fuel, they are messengers that help your body's enzymes convert that cholesterol into testosterone. But the benefits don't stop there. Avocados are also rich in magnesium. Here's why that matters. A protein called SHBG, or sex hormone binding globulin, floats around in your blood and binds to testosterone, making it inactive. Think of it like putting your testosterone in handcuffs. Magnesium helps reduce the amount of SHBG, effectively unlocking more of your testosterone so your body can actually use it. Adding half an avocado to your breakfast with eggs or on a piece of whole grain toast is a powerful way to fuel your hormonal machinery. If this is making sense to you, if you're starting to see that you have more control than you thought, please take a moment to click that subscribe button. We are building a community here of men who choose to age with strength and knowledge, and I'd be honored if you join us. Now, let's talk about our final fruit and the dangerous myth that surrounds it. Let me tell you about a patient of mine, a man I'll call Frank. He was a 69-year-old retired mechanic, a man who spent his life fixing complex engines. But he came to me feeling like his own engine was sputtering. His energy was gone, his mood was low, and he felt a growing distance from his wife. He was a fixer who felt he couldn't fix himself. In his search for answers, he'd stumbled upon online forums that terrified him. They were filled with men warning each other to avoid berries, claiming they were estrogen bombs that would feminize them. So out of fear, Frank had cut out all berries, one of the few healthy foods he truly enjoyed. He was following bad advice, and he was feeling worse, not better. Frank's story is a perfect example of how misinformation can actively harm good men who are trying to do the right thing. This brings us to our third and final fruit, and it's time to set the record straight. Berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries do not raise estrogen in men. In fact, they are one of the most protective foods you can eat for your testosterone. Berries are packed with antioxidants called anthocyanins. These are the compounds that give them their deep, rich colors. Think of testosterone as a delicate flame. Inflammation and oxidative stress are like wind and rain trying to put it out. The antioxidants in berries are like a glass lantern that shields that flame, protecting it from damage. Animal studies have shown these compounds help protect the Leydig cells from oxidative damage, preserving testosterone production. Berries also help with insulin sensitivity, which, as we discussed, is a silent killer of testosterone. And yes, frozen berries are just as nutritious. A handful in your yogurt or a smoothie is a delicious act of defiance against bad information. Now, I know some of you may still be concerned about the sugar in fruit. Let me be very clear. The sugar in whole fruit is not your enemy. It comes packaged with fiber, water, and antioxidants, which slow down its absorption and prevent the blood sugar spikes that cause problems. The real threat to your hormones is added, processed sugar, the kind in sodas, packaged snacks, and sauces. That is the sugar that drives inflammation and insulin resistance. Your body is smart. It knows the difference between a handful of blueberries and a can of soda. So, let's make this practical. Building a testosterone-friendly plate isn't about deprivation, it's about smart additions. Start your day with a meal that sets the tone. Think eggs with half an avocado and a side of Greek yogurt with mixed berries. For lunch, grilled salmon or chicken with plenty of greens and a sprinkle of pomegranate seeds. You are not just eating food, you are strategically nourishing your body's entire hormonal system. Let's bring this all together. Testosterone decline is common after 60, but it is not inevitable. It's driven by inflammation, insulin resistance, and oxidative stress, all things you can fight with the right fuel. Pomegranate helps boost nitric oxide and testosterone. Avocado provides the healthy fats to build hormones, and berries are antioxidant powerhouses that protect the entire system. You don't need gimmicks. You don't need to fear fruit. You need understanding, and you need tools you can trust. The most powerful steps are often not drastic, they are daily. They look like choosing berries over a cookie or adding avocado to your toast. So, here is your one small action for today. Just one. Add one of these three fruits to your next meal. That's it. Start small, stay consistent, and watch what happens when your body finally gets the support it's been asking for. Stay curious, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.